All right, everybody. Welcome. Welcome to Monday night Team Limitless weekly call. Thanks for being here. Hey, Dr. Kate, Jay. Welcome, everybody. Shannon, April. All right. My name is Joshua Dunsky, and this is our weekly team call. And another amazing week, you guys. This is just it gets better and better and better. And I think we missed a big nugget of information last week, and I take full responsibility. I don't know if you know this or not, but I believe it was the first week. Can you guys hear me all right? Give me a thumbs up if you can. Yeah. First week in April, you guys, we hit $6 billion. Did you know that? Did you read that? Yeah, $6 billion. Huge. They announced it on the ship, and I can't believe we didn't say that. I know it was on Isagenix Business, but some of us don't always see everything on there. So that is huge. That's that milestone that we're talking about. Just did it. So onwards and upwards. And I know you guys have seen, we've shown that trajectory of how many years it took us to hit 1 billion, 2 billion, 3 billion, $6 billion now. So we are in such a position to do $1 billion per year, right where we are. So pretty rad. I want to open up the call as we usually do. With any wins and celebrations that people have. For those of you that are new on here, welcome. Every Monday night, 8:30 Eastern Standard Time, this is our board meeting. This is our corporate meeting. We don't talk about nutrition necessarily. We don't talk about ingredients. We talk about business on this call and how to maximize our business. No question is dumb. No question is stupid. Everybody needs to go over the basics regardless how long we've been involved with the company. And you'll see that very frequently. We go back to basics, because that's where the bread and butter, that's where our bread is buttered. There you go. Got it right. So I want to shout out a couple people first, and then I'll open up the call to begin. Before we hit the topic this evening, I want to congratulate Jennifer Gabby Bennett. Is she on here?
Yeah.
There she is, hitting Crystal Director again, right? We talk about the reset. We talk about the leaders doing the same thing that we expect our teams to do. And Jennifer Gabby Bennett did it again. So hats off to you. Oh, there's Chase. Mm-hmm. Chase, man. What's up, buddy? Thumbs up. All right. So congratulations, Jen. And Joanne cycled 10 times. I saw you on here before. This is Forsyth. Joanne Forsyth cycled 10 times, you guys. That is huge. Congratulations. Big round of applause. Right? When we're doing that, that's setting up the foundation of what's to come. So, Let's open up the call. If you have any wins or any celebrations, just unmute yourself and let's start there.
I already have one.
Hey, Eliza, go right ahead.
So I want to just share with you guys, I had my first pack enrollment on a Shaper person who is I've been connecting to for, I don't know, I mean, it was multiple calls, but I'll tell you, can be a distraction to use some of these apps. However, I still see value in it because we made a really good connection. Are all those people that I talked to great connections? No, but I think it's a really great place if anybody is looking to make some new connections off of Facebook. She's a great girl. She's already interested in sharing. And I think, it's a big win for me for being able to go from stranger to acquaintance to prospect to customer to hopefully business builder, like that, to do that with somebody brand new. I haven't really done that before. So that was really cool.
Awesome. That is huge. Big round of applause there. That is great. I'll tell you, I've been working Shaper, and I've had a lot of meetings and nothing's come to fruition yet, but we're not stopping because you never know. It's we love meeting people and talking about business, and I used to not be good at follow-up. So some of these people I've had one conversation with, and we know, if we stop there, 80% of our business is gone. Most of the people out there that say yes in any type of sales or enrollments happens at the 5th exposure beyond. Could be 8, could be 12. So that was a big learning curve for me. So congratulations, Eliza, on that. Anybody else? Jody.
Thank you. So I just wanted to shout out, actually, she's not on the call, but Sarah Ackerman. She's getting back into running and is actually really working on filling her own cup. So I want to shout her out for that because that can be really difficult to do
Awesome.
as we try and build this business. And then I wanted to just quickly comment on Shaper. I've had 2 enrollments from Shaper. One of them, Jen Bennett helped with last week, and it is a budding life coach and her husband. And so they're just wrapping up week 1. We're doing a cleanse call tomorrow night, most likely going to reorder for him because they were splitting a 30-day. So that's going well. So don't give up on Shaper. It's a lot of conversations. It's great practice and experience. And then the last thing, which I know I mentioned a little bit last week in Limitless, was my chiropractor. I enrolled him with the value pack last Tuesday. He still hasn't gotten his box for some reason and isn't concerned about it, which is a little frustrating, but don't give up on the follow-ups. And basically what it boiled down to was I had invited him to try to do a 3-way with Josh, trying to do Josh's Tito's lecture, whatever. I know I talked about it last week, but he actually did enroll on Tuesday. So just don't be afraid, as new things come up, new videos, like the new Josh and Lisa video, which can we do a huge shout out and round of applause for Josh and Lisa, because how amazing is that video? As those new things come up, like don't be afraid to reach out to people who've kind of blown you off before and just say, hey, I thought of you. This is a really great new thing. I actually got a couple of enrollments out of the new TDOS or telomere training that Dave MacArthur did. So don't be afraid to follow up, guys, even if they've said no in the past. That's all. Thanks.
Awesome, Jody. Awesome. Big congratulations there. And thank you very much for that. Maybe we'll hit some of those statistics. If you haven't seen, we're very proud of the video. I mean, it was a lot of work, but the company, they did it. They put that together and it was amazing. But they have some very interesting stats. If you haven't seen the stats that go with that video, it makes us proud. And we'll find those and share that at this call. Jennifer Ayotte, go right ahead.
I am so excited because, can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, good. I'm probably yelling. I'm so excited because I wasn't sure if I could say this yet, but we have a new person on our call tonight, Kristen Andrews, and I just got her on. So I was like, I just added her to the Limitless page tonight, and she's a couple of weeks into her first 30-day system, having awesome results and just really just doing great and loving it, and I'm interested in learning more about sharing. So yay, thanks for getting on the call, Kristen. I hope this is helpful. It's awesome to have you here. And also, we have a new consultant who is not on the phone tonight, Katie French. So she yesterday actually enrolled 2 people simultaneously on the same day and advanced to consultant. So it was a good weekend.
Awesome. Congratulations, and congratulations, Kristen, for being here and joining us in this venue. Super excited to have you.
Thank you.
Yeah, of course. Who else? Anybody else have anything they want to share? I don't see any hands. Oh, Renee. Go right ahead, Renee.
Oh, there we go. Josh, I just want to say thank you because the last Zoom that you did before you went on the big ship, you had mentioned how you were giving too much information out and people just kind of looking at you with the deer in the headlights look. And I realized that's what I've been doing this whole time. And I was giving way too much information, then I just lose people and they just never would respond back. So I stopped doing that and started using the tools more and learning a lot of the tools myself. And I have 5 people that are constantly contacting me, not quite ready, but they're that close. And I've been practicing the cake recipe too, so.
Awesome.
And I finally got my best friends all signed up, who I never thought would sign up.
That is so great. Isn't that funny how that happens? I'm guilty of that too. I prejudge. Oh, this person doesn't need it. That person will definitely do it. Wrong every time. So congratulations. Any other wins or celebrations on here? Okie dokie. So since we just briefly touched on the movie, I want to share with you why Isagenix put this out. Because they. Oh, you did? All right. Do you not want to go over it?
No, you can go over
Okay.
it.
So this is why they put it out, because everything that they do, they scrutinize. They won't use something that they've spent a lot of money on if it's not productive. And they put it through some focus groups. And here's the statistics, and this is why they finally put the movie out. they brought this to people who were not in Isagenix and who were not in the company. And after watching Isagenix, they gave them these questions and they took these statistics down. After watching Isagenix explain, that was the video that Lisa and I did, to these non-Isagenix members, they shared the following statistics. 92% were more likely to use Isagenix products after seeing that movie. 89% said the video changed their impression of Isagenix for the better. 60% were interested in knowing more information. 87% of them knew that Isagenix eliminates toxins. And 86% felt that after watching this video, Isagenix is a lifestyle, not a diet. That is so important. I mean, this company just does everything the right way, but we need to be able to separate ourselves when we're talking to somebody or we're showing them a tool. This is not a diet. This is a lifestyle. This gives back the body what Mother Nature intended us to have hundreds of millions of years ago that we cannot get from our food, period, no matter how organic you eat. So that's why they're using the video, because it works. So proud to be a part of that. So any last minute celebrations? We're going to jump into our topic tonight. Jennifer,
I just wanted to shout you and Lisa out for also hitting Crystal Director really at the 11th hour, which is awesome. I knew you guys would do it.
Thank you. Literally, it was the last couple hours of last night. We knew we had to do it.
You did it.
Thank you. All right. Thanks, Jen. So tonight, we were gonna get into wall kicking moments and the rut that all of us fall into, because it doesn't matter where you are in this business, whether it's day 1, year 2, or you've been in this business for 5 years, 7 years and making, high 6 figures, even 7 figures. The 7-figure income earners still have days where they question themselves. Believe it or not, it's true. It's absolutely true. And so what do we do to pull ourselves out? So that was the direction we were going with tonight. But you know what? We always go off of vibration and energy, and we're going to shift into something else, because we do a lot of coaching calls, and the several of them that I just did, they all had one common denominator, right? We all think we need more skill. We all think we need more training. We all think we need to know more, and we do. But guess what is the most important part of you and I being successful in this business? It's not knowing the ingredients. It's not knowing the compensation plan. It's not knowing all the pools. That stuff is important to know. But you know what it is? It's confidence, it's poise, and it's posture, right? Because if it was skill, there's no way we could take someone in Reno, Nevada, enroll them, and then before they get their box, they enroll 3 people. There's no way we could take someone in Maryland and enroll her. In the first week, she made over $1,000 with how many referrals? 3 referrals? 4 referrals. Didn't know anything, right? But her confidence, her posture for what she was doing, that she made the right decision, allowed her to give that energy to 3 or 4 other people, and they enrolled. So let's talk about that, because to be honest, that's why we're here. That's why Lisa and I said yes. When I got on the phone with Dave MacArthur, actually, when I called Dr. Antoine back, Jamie Antoine, I called him back and I said, okay, Jamie, there's 8 phone calls. I finally called him back. I said, okay, what is this isogenesis? At the time, it was called Product B. Honest to God, he said, well, I really don't know that much about it, but can I put you on the phone with my friend Dave? That's exactly what he said. He didn't even explain to me or could explain to me what the telomere support was, but he put me on the phone with Dave MacArthur, and after 20 minutes, Dave MacArthur had my credit card. Do you know why? Because of his posture, because of his confidence in what he's doing. I mean, I still get chills when I talk about it. I say that all the time. It's true. It was I couldn't say no to him. And he had my credit card, my social security number, and off we went. Because, he put me in a position to at least look at the science and get started. And we did. So that's what I want to talk about tonight.
Can I throw something in there?
Sure.
Can everybody hear me? My voice is a little tacky.
Yeah, they can.
So that same person that Josh was talking about, absolutely, shared with 4 people right away without really knowing what it was. And then once she did know what it was, started to hit those little hurdles, because she got the fear in her, and oh my gosh, this is network marketing. So she sent us this message. Hey, I've been thinking about it and would like to do that Facebook post that you recommended. If you could help, that would be great. I thought about it and realized my apprehension was completely fear-based. I've talked to a few people about Isagenix and had negative responses related to network marketing, which I wasn't expecting. I was struggling with the whole what people will think. I realize all of that is their own stuff and it doesn't have anything to do with me. I've let go of all of that and I'm super excited to get some interest going. So how many people have actually felt that way?
Big time.
Probably the biggest hurdle in the beginning, once you know that you're part of a network marketing company, even though it's no big thing, a lot of people will let that kind of slow them down and create a block at the beginning.
Absolutely. I'm glad you brought that up. And that's why the testimonials are so important that we see, the ISA recognition, and looking into these stories of these people and where they came from and their backgrounds. We represent everybody. Everybody. The only difference is we represent the people that were open. And maybe they weren't open at first, but they became open. The people we don't represent are the people that are closed, who want to stay on that path, whatever they're doing. That's fine. But it's a sifting process. And so we stop getting upset when people say no and realize we're just looking for the people who are ready to make a change. So how can you be upset when someone says, no, I'm not ready, or no, I don't want to do this, or no, I think you're a quack? It doesn't matter. And I'll tell you, our business took a different trajectory when we stopped worrying about what people thought. I was the biggest, I'm guilty of that, to the highest extent there, a few years ago. I put myself in this box and figured I had to stay in this box. I don't want to be in the box. I'm not in the box. And so that, for me, changed a lot of things. So let's talk about.
You're in a box right now, by the way.
Funny.
Just saying.
Anyways, so we're going to talk about confidence, posture, and poise. Okay. So where do we get it? Where does this come from? And I will tell you this absolutely, again, my opinion is the most essential part of the business, because we know people who know all the information, but their business isn't going in the direction that they want it to go in, right? So we know skills are important, information is important, but it's your posture, and that comes with certain things. So it's the most important thing. If you don't do this, if you don't learn about posture or poise, it's over. There's no business. The good news is it's learnable. It's learnable. It absolutely is learnable. So even when you're learning, this is the great thing. When you're learning this business, when you're learning the training, the skills, how to create posture and confidence, we get paid during this process. Okay? So we can have the confidence and the posture while showing people the information. Waiting is the kiss of death. Getting ready to get ready to get ready. There's so many people that spend so long on personal development or other skills, and they're very important, but you've got to compartmentalize it. You've got to say, okay, I'm doing 10, 15, 20 minutes today of personal development, but then the rest I have to move on to the prospecting, the connecting, the presentations, right? We get caught up in certain things, or support. We become a support mechanism when we forget that 80% of your business is new people, 20% is support. So we need to have confidence. We need to have confidence when someone asks you a question, you can say, hey, Robert, great question. I don't know the answer to that, but let me get my mentor on the phone because he sure can answer this. Or you know what, Jen, great question. I don't know the answer to that. Let's go to isagenixhealth.net. I was doing a call today with two doctors. She asked me a biochemistry question. I had never even heard of these words. I'm like, great question. So I showed her how to look them up. And you know what? We didn't go off course at all. She actually appreciated that, and I could tell with the demeanor and the back and forth. She said, "Oh," I said, "We arm our patients with these websites and whatnot." So understanding how to get them the information. So let me ask you this: what's the downside of lack of confidence? You don't have to answer out loud. What's the downside to not having confidence? We all know what's going to happen. We all know this: that if you don't believe, Renee, if you don't believe in this business, you're not believable. If you don't believe what you're doing is the right thing, how is our prospect supposed to believe this, right? So we need that. The best example, I'll never forget this, David Wood did this up on stage. So Jody, if Chris got down on his knee and he said, baby, I'm 81%, I want to spend the rest of my life with you. 81%, I'm so sure about it. I'm 81%, what are you going to say to him? Right, take a hike, maybe?
No, that's the bad example because I probably still would have said yes, but that's okay. But
All right.
if it was anyone other than him, then I would have said no.
All right. If you said 51%, would you say yes?
No.
Okay, thank you. And he comes back to the table and he says 91%. You get the picture. If we don't believe what we're doing, how do we expect our prospects to believe? So when people come to the table and like, Josh, I'm doing this, but they're still not enrolling. Well, how confident are you in the products? How confident are you in the compensation plan? Maybe you're not at a place you want to be yet, but look at all these other people that can be your role model and say, wow, they're doing this, they're making that money. How confident are you in Jim and Kathy Coover? So we have a system to get your belief needle to move a little bit. So it's okay. We rate ourselves 0 to 10 in all those categories. We rate ourselves on the products, the company, the industry, those 5 categories. And if you're not a 10, that's okay. Our job or your sponsor's job or your mentor, whoever your mentor is or your coach or your team leader, get with them. Their job is to show you how to move a little bit closer to 10, little bit closer to 10. That's all it is. Because you can have a phenomenal business and not be at a 10 yet as long as you're growing there. And you know how to show people the right information. And you know how to get them on a 3-way call. I will tell you this, and you've heard me say this over and over again. Not doing 3-way calls, I feel, is a big mistake. It's the most underutilized tool that is the most successful tool in this business, right? And even if you can explain something, you shouldn't. Because people need to hear it from another source. So Joshua becomes more credible. So Jay becomes more credible. So Lisa says something in a different way. She might say the same word, but it resonates with Stacy a little bit differently, and she lights up. There's also the training component. When I'm doing a 3-way with Renee and Jay, Jay may pick up something that I said. He's learning this. Or, Dr. Kate, I'm learning from her. Or Jen, it's a multifaceted tool, but it's not used that much. So I implore you and recommend that you use those tools.
And don't worry about feeling like you're bugging someone.
Yeah, you're not bugging anybody. This is what we do. We do calls, and your leaders do calls, and you'll do calls, and it's a part of the business. So your new person doesn't have to know everything, and it's almost better that way too. So number 1, let's talk about self-confidence. Number 1 is the most important thing in your business is self-confidence. And it's more important than product, than price and title. It is the most important thing. Number 2, self-confidence can be and must be grown. Here's the key, guys and ladies on here. You can't buy it. You cannot buy self-confidence. You can't hire someone to give it. You can't go drop, $9,000 on a weekend with a guru and grab $10,000 on a coaching weekend and grab confidence, on a coaching weekend. You can't get it from a car. You can't get it from a nice country club. People try to sell you on that. It doesn't happen like that because self-confidence is an inside job. I'm not saying don't go to training weekends and don't go to weekends with coaches and spend money like that on yourself. Absolutely. But guess what? It doesn't mean anything if you don't put what Tony Robbins just taught you into play. If you don't put what T. Harv Eker just taught you into play. You've got to take what they taught you and now execute it. The problem is we go to all these things and we get caught up and keep going. I'm going to this, I'm going to that. But it sits in a notebook on the desk and it doesn't ever open up, right? And that's the kiss of death. So it must be grown. So take those tools and utilize them. So how do we grow self-confidence? Well, I'm not going to get into this example because you've heard me talk about this a bit. My example was this. When I was in school and I was getting my doctorate, we had speech class. I will tell you the one thing that scared me the most, not many things scared me in life, is speaking in front of people. It was even in front of 2 or 3 people on something that I wasn't sure about or didn't know about. It's giving a lecture or educating people in the front of the room. Scared me beyond what I can even explain here. So to the point where I was skipping class. I'd end up in the bathroom getting sick, no joke. It was awful. And I realized that I wasn't going to graduate if I didn't get in front of the room. And so I made myself do it. I saw my dad being successful with teaching, presenting, educating others, and led him to a very successful career based on that. And I knew if I didn't do that as a chiropractor, forget it. I have to go and show people what we do. So all of the pain and nausea and other things we're not going to talk about led to something I'm very proud about, a very successful rehab facility, several businesses that we've started. Comes from all educating, getting in front of people and telling them what I do and showing how we can help them if it's for them. It led to me flying around, enrolling doctors into my consulting program. I was charging back in the day, a few years ago, $35,000 for 2 days. And I got it. I got a lot of it. I'd started my consulting career in 2006. And I say this because I'm proud of that, because I didn't have that without speaking. I had to make myself do it. So the point is here, I had to put on my big boy pants, roll up my sleeves, and I knew it was going to get messy. And it did. It was really messy. But I was okay with that. I was okay with sucking until I didn't suck anymore. And I still suck sometimes, and that's okay, because I don't care. Because my message is very clear. I want to help you. And this is what I want to get across tonight. If you can step out of that comfort zone, you can step into that place where people are looking at me like doing karaoke, thank you very much, 2 weeks ago, on a ship.
Video if anyone wants to
no
see
one's
it.
ever going to see that video. And it was horrible, and I'm not exaggerating, and you will be in big trouble.
It was horribly cute.
Anyways, that's number 2, okay? Number 3, we need to drill skills every day. Drill skills every day. So I'm talking about this whole section here is building confidence. Part of confidence comes with learning these skills. Train, train, train every day. I don't care if it's 10 minutes of reading something. Study, learn, do things that are hard. Those hard things build confidence. So that thermostat that I was talking to you about, a 1 to 10 scale, rate yourselves. We're not going to go through this exercise today, but write this down. Products, company, compensation, industry, and self. I'll say it again because I know I'm talking fast. Products, company, compensation plan, the industry of network marketing, in yourself. Those 5 categories, you're going to rate yourself from 1 to 10. 10 being the most confident. Write down those numbers, get back with your coach or your sponsor, go over the numbers, and they will show you what we do when you have numbers that aren't 10s, okay? And if you don't have a coach or a mentor, you call Lisa or you call me and we'll do it with you, okay? Because this is how we grow. Usually, the lowest numbers are the self-confidence, right? Because we know the products work. We know the company is phenomenal. We know the compensation plan. But if you don't know that it's a 10, we have ways of getting you that information so you can see more about that. Self-confidence comes from repeating, this is very important, from repeating experiences that are difficult. If you don't ever do something that's difficult, you will not get self-confidence, period. Spend 30, 50, 100 grand on something and don't do the work, it's not going to happen. It's the same place that courage comes from. So we all know courageous people. So people do some amazingly courageous things. So if someone does something that's courageous, he or she is given the title of courageous, right? But why? Because they did something courageous. They didn't think something. It's not because they learned something. It's not because they were taught something or taught to be courageous. They did something courageous. So self-confidence comes from the doing the things that they're scared to do. Self-confidence comes from doing the things that we're scared to do. We must get in front of people. If we're scared to talk, that's an indication to do it. I'm not saying you have to speak to 3,000 people. I'm not saying you have to present to 300 people, right? I choose to do that. I enjoy doing that. Some of you enjoy doing it. But what you do have to do is be able to talk to one person or 2 people, or maybe 3 people, because a presentation is your exposure to this amazing platform that's changed your life. So you have to be able to talk to those people. If you don't know how to do it, get with your mentor, get with a coach, find someone in the company that does what you do and watch them. And again, if it's no one that, some people don't have a sponsor that's driving this business the way they want, find someone else. We have a team of people that love everybody on here. Someone will help you. I will help you. So Lisa will help you. So remember that your body, and this is one thing that we teach in the clinic, your body will tell you everything, not some things. Your body will tell you everything that you need to know about the health of you, about it, if you're paying attention. Your body will tell you everything that you need to know about taking care of your body if you're paying attention. What's a good example? You ever start to tremble when you're going to talk to someone? You ever start to tremble when you get on the soccer field and you're playing with people that might be better than you? guess what? That's your body telling you, you need to keep doing that. You need to grow some skills. You need to have some experience. And that's where the confidence is going to come from. That's why we shake. That's where our voices get a little nutty. That's why we get the pit in our stomach. It means we need to train a little more, do this a little more, a little more. And even when you get good, you still might tremble a little bit. That's okay. But that's a sign that you're moving in the right direction, right? Until we're good. And we still need to train. So let me ask you something. Who on here loves Tony Robbins, right? Who on here appreciates and loves Mother Teresa, T. Harv Eker, Grant Cardone, anybody that you like, that you look up to? Are they going to give you confidence? No. They are going to outline the work and we must do it. So I think that's one of the most poignant things that we're going to emphasize tonight. You have to do the work if you want a different life, period. You have to. We have to. I have to. We all do. Guess what? Here's what happens. When you become good at something and you're learning the violin, you keep practicing, your fingers are bleeding, practice hours, and you know, there's things you can't get done because you have to sacrifice because you got to play to become really good, your confidence grows. And when your confidence grows, guess what happens? That turns into poise and posture. This business is no different. The more you practice, the more your confidence grows. Confidence turns into poise and posture. Poise and posture is a byproduct of confidence. You don't have to know all the things of this business. You just have to be good. You have to learn. You have to be around people that are doing what you want to have happen and soak that up. So number 4, become unreasonably optimistic. I'll go over that. Become unreasonably optimistic. If we want a different life, and I think most of us on here want that, doesn't mean your life was bad before, but we want something different. And some of us are in a tight spot, and some of us are in a unhappy spot, and some of us are in a happy spot, but we want freedom. So whatever it is, if we want something different, a better life, we must get crazy. We must get relentless about our dreams. Look at these people who have massive businesses. They don't care what people think. They have this, they walk into a room, they light up the room, and they share what they're doing, and they talk to everybody, and they let those people decide, right? We will keep getting the same results unless we go big. It's not fun to do this slow. We have to get that down. We have to get passionate. You ever talk to someone who just they may be the sweetest person. They have no passion when they talk. They have no energy. There's no vibration. It's like, I like this guy, but, when's this going to be over? Right? That's not what we do. That's not what we want. So you have to have real passion, a real belief that what you're doing is the right thing. And I'm going to sign up with you, whether it's the first conversation or the 12th conversation. I'm probably gonna, because my life ain't that exciting. I want what you have. That was that call with Dave MacArthur. So we got to get a little uncomfortable to get there. I'm going to check in. I can't see anybody. I'm going to go back over here. Everybody doing okay? Am I going too fast? Good thumbs. Okay, good. So comfort is a disease. Comfort makes us sick. It really, really does. We call it the comfort coma. Society, mainstream media, oh my goodness, the pharmaceutical companies, big interest groups, big corporations, they all want us to become comfortable. Josh, don't worry about it, man. Sit back, put your feet up. We'll think for you. All you do, you just need to sign up with our services and buy our product. This is what you should do, and you're going to be great. That's the world around us. The world is pulling at us every day. Distractions are everywhere you look. And it's all the same. And it makes us comfortable. But nothing's going to change if we keep going down that path. Tap into the visionaries that you want to be like. Look at these incredible leaders in isogenics. These they can be 6-7 figure. Maybe they're making $50,000, but their business is kicking and you want to be like them, whatever it is, right? Tap into them, follow them. Jason, you were talking about the other night, and I know we were talking with someone else. Find someone that you resonate with. Even if you don't know them, follow them, right? I don't know Tony Robbins. I like his work. I love his energy. I love what he does. I love T. Harv Eker. Robin Sharma. I look at these guys, Bob Proctor on The Subconscious Mind. I YouTube this stuff almost daily. I'll YouTube something, even for 10 minutes. I follow these people, and I encourage you to do that too. It'll change you. It'll build that confidence also. So we do know that we are the average of the 5 people that we hang out with the most. Undeniable. We are the average of the 5 people that we hang out with the most. So guess what happens if 4 out of 5 of those people, or 3 out of 5 are negative people? It's undeniable. You can't avoid it. You can't insulate yourself around that. So, who do you want to hang out with? Do you want to hang out with mediocre people that are kind of doing the business, that are maybe going to the bar every night, maybe, indulging in things that aren't, in bad habits? I don't know. I'm not saying, that each doesn't have its own, but, you got to weigh things out. If those people are the majority of the people that you're hanging out with the majority of the time, it's likely that's going to be you. Or do you want to hang out with people and run with people that are doing what you want? And that energy will pull you. It'll pull you like never before. I promise you, it does. So that's really a powerful thing to think about. If we keep hanging out with the people that we grew up with that are kind of in the same place, not all of them, but some of them, we've had these conversations, so we know where that goes. If they're not doing what you want, still love them, but you might want to look elsewhere for, the majority of your time. Be wary of people on your team. Be wary of your business partners who talk a lot of talk, but don't really put things into motion. They want you to do all the work. They complain about their upline, their downline, their sponsor. I mean, those complaints will kill your business. If you are someone people are bringing all the problems to and chitter-chatting behind people's backs and closed doors, trust me, you're the problem. Dave MacArthur, he'll tell you the same exact thing. Eric Worre will tell you the same exact thing. It's not because they like you, it's because you're perpetuating that. So that's a big eye-opener for a lot of us, and we need to move in a different direction. And you will see a shift in your business. I promise you. So we try to stay away from that. Leaders go first, make the change. So that comfort coma, gone. Gone is the comfort coma, no more. That is the thief of our dreams, and we're not going to let it happen. Hang out with the people who go to the gym. Hang out with the people in a healthy lifestyle. Hang out with people who have visions to change the world, change their financial footprint. Hang out with people who are making the money you want to make. Hang out with people who are obsessed with success, right? You know who they are. Get with them. Hang out with the people who got the drive, the ambition, the people that are already successful. These trips that we're going on, the main reason I'm going on them is because I want to pick their brains. I want to soak these people's brains who have been doing this longer and are at a place that I want to get to. Absolutely. And we've met some incredible people, and some of our closest friends are in this business company, and many of you are on the call right now. It's incredible what this is. So be crazy, be relentless about our dreams, right? Find the people you want to be like, who will pull you up and not pull you down. Don't settle, because you're not the norm. Have huge, audacious goals and be delusional about our dreams, because those delusions I will tell you, you may not get to the moon, but you're going to get a heck of a lot higher than a realistic goal. And that's one of the reasons why we aim so high. We surpass realistic goals. So I don't even know how over we are on time.
We're not.
All right, good.
I have some stuff too.
All right, so let's open up the call. Any questions on any of that? And then I'm going to let Lisa hit on some things, and then we have some good things to wind up with. So, and you may not. Any comments, compliments, criticism? I don't care. That's all good. Any questions anybody has?
I'd like to
Jody.
compliment your karaoke.
Karaoke just threw me off again. I wanted to actually mention the testimonials that you're doing from your clinic are phenomenal. Like, how cool, and being able to share that and see that, and just really, really cool. Like, I'm loving that you're doing that. So I just wanted to mention that. I know it's not really related. I'm sorry.
No, it is actually. And, with all the programs that we do in the clinic, I can do that. It's harder to do that with just nutrition because of compliance. So, we have ways of doing that, but it's not what we really want to say. We want to say what we really see and we really know. But thank you for that, Jody. I appreciate that. Jennifer Ayotte.
I wanted to say thank you for this topic, because I actually was speaking with one of our team members, not somebody who's in my downline that I'm connected with, but today, who just kind of like a little support call, and this topic came up. And I think it's important that people understand that many of us who may appear to be very confident or have the posture of confidence,
either are not as confident inside or once we're not, and that we worked on it. Because I think sometimes people come into this and they think, oh, well, that person's so confident. I could never be that way. I'm not that way. And that's not true. That many of us, have struggled with that, as you said about yourself. Many of us, we look at someone who maybe looks very successful in their business, or they're presenting themselves with this very strong posture, and we think that they never get those butterflies in their stomach. But that's not the case. So please know that, it happens to all of us, and that it does take time and it takes work, and, to reach out to, your enrolling sponsor, reach out to a mentor, reach out to someone on the team, to get support.
I'm so glad you said that, Jen. So true. When you see people up on stage at Celebration and ICU, they will tell you the same thing. The majority of them, they look really polished and ready to go and like it's a breeze. It's not, and I can attest to that. I do a lot of lecturing. Every time I get in front of people, I get the stomach. I get nervous. I do. And then once I start going, it's like, this is good. I don't care, but getting up there, it is. And it's a process, Jen. So thank you for saying that. That's so important for everybody to know. Anybody else? All right. Hey, Kevin, go right ahead, buddy.
Hey, how are you doing?
Hey, Kevin.
So here's two things. One, there's an old saying, if you shoot for the moon, you'll still land among the stars. So hang in there.
Love it.
Number two, I'm a stranger in a strange land because you guys are a lot of energy for me. One of my goals is to be around younger people who have a lot of energy. I have wisdom, you have energy, it's unstoppable in the end. And I'm making progress on Extend Your Life. Jody, I need to know what that video that you talked about Dave MacArthur, because I could use that. I don't know where to find it, but maybe somebody could tell me. And number three, actually, I trying to figure out who in Isogenics is actually working focused on seniors. I keep looking around, and I guess I come up with this one face, which I'm quite happy about, actually, from a strategic standpoint. Extend Your Life is coming into the world this month in West Hartford. There's a senior day here in West Hartford, and I'm going to be presenting at it. And I have an armature. I'm going to send it to you because I want you to look at it. And like you just said, I'm winging it a little bit. It's not all wired. We'll see what happens. But I do tell you this. I've been talking to a lot of people in my age group, and you'd be surprised how many of them say, I want to hear more about that. Simply, it's working. It's working. So, by the way, I also offer myself as a stand to anybody who has seniors that they want me to talk to, because I'm pretty good at it. Awesome. I have the credentials.
Great points. And just to note on that, Kevin, there are a lot of customers, senior customers. There are some people that have big businesses. Jimmy the Butcher, Escobar.
You know about Jimmy, yeah.
Dave MacArthur. They have a lot of seniors, as you put it, that use the products. And so I don't know that anybody just focuses on them, but they're included just like the 9-year-olds included. I think this is for everybody.
I do too. No, and I think it's a niche for the millennials as well.
Oh yeah.
There's a lot of behavior that's really been learned for a long time. All the habits of people eat habits of their parents and stuff. So it's hard to break it, but it can be done. Telomere, excellent part. Anyway.
Excellent.
My piece.
Thank you, sir.
All right.
All right. You wanted to go over a couple things?
Yeah, a couple of things that I wrote down while Josh was talking, because I think it's very notable, is the fear of speaking. It's very common. If you're not sure what you're presenting, or you don't really have the confidence that what you're saying is as good as how you heard it, and you're kind of discounting yourself. Those three-way calls are the best way to actually get there. I never wanted to present. I never wanted to actually get on the phone and talk to anybody about this program, because Josh was always sitting right next to me. Why would I do it if Josh was sitting right next to me? So it'd always be like, hon, I got a call for you. Hon, I got a call for you. And there was a moment where I had listened to him so much that I was like, wait a minute, I can totally do that. And I was actually jealous. I was like, wait a minute, it's my turn. I want to talk. And so it's like that fear of missing out. And, like a cool way to really think about this is do 3 ways until. Do those 3 ways until you're like, yeah, I got this. I mean, how many new jobs have people started and you didn't know anything on the first day, but you didn't like kick yourself about it. You just day by day, you learned a little more, you learned a little more, you learned a little more. And eventually you were very confident in your job and thought no one else could do your job as well as you did. And that's all this is. It's the same concept. It's just a different platform. I think a lot of people get like hung up on things because you get lost in where you are instead of just it's life. It's the same as anything else. And really what's happening is you're becoming inspired to do something. No one has told you to do it. I mean, we can train, we can teach, but nobody's telling anyone to do anything. It's just a path. And until you're inspired, it's not going to happen for you. No one can motivate you. No one can encourage you. People can only inspire you. And it really comes from inside. And that moment that you go, yeah, this is me. Like I'm here and I'm gonna rise up. I have a very similar story. I hated talking to people. I hated connecting. I took a networking class in college, and I actually left halfway through, blamed it on the professor that it was the most uncomfortable thing I'd ever been to, and never went back. I dropped the class, and now we're network marketers, and it's just something you push yourself into and get comfortable with eventually. And then the other thing that Josh said that I really wanted to highlight was, people wanting what you have, having that posture, having that presence, having that, Facebook page where people see it and they're like, what are they doing? I want some of that. We have a great opportunity on Facebook to be in the attraction marketing business, and one of the things that I know I did poorly in the beginning was that I didn't do it properly. I was so excited about having a life of freedom and not having my 9 to 5, my job, that I wasn't being sensitive to the fact that there's a lot of people out there with 9 to 5s. There's a lot of people out there that love them. There's a lot of people out there that hate them. And you want to walk that nice line where, it's just upbeat and positive, but you're not really making anyone feel bad. Instead, you're creating that fear of missing out. Like, hey, what are you doing? I want to hear more because I would like to be that excited on my Facebook page. And lastly, goals and milestones. If you are not writing them down, if they are not out, if those of you who have been to our house, our office, there's stuff everywhere. There's all of the team's names out on our walls. There's vision boards. There's thank you cards. There's 700 calendars. Yeah, he's going to show them. And there's financial goals. There's trips. There's every possible thing that we have on our minds and in our hearts that we want to achieve for our team, for ourselves, to grow this as a community. And if they are not in sight, they are not in mind. If you've looked at your prospect list after, a couple of months, all of a sudden you're like, oh my gosh, I forgot about this person. Or you come across someone on Facebook, oh my gosh, I was totally prospecting that person, I forgot. And if you had written them down, they wouldn't have been out of mind. So it's super, super important. If you want something, write it down. One of the things I want to actually show you this because, we were actually a little concerned we wouldn't do the crystal directory reset, but we've got these, tallies, and we make sure that we're staying on point and check marks, and everybody's names are here, and we check them off as they do it. And, that's what keeps us, looking at stuff and keeping our eye on the prize. And if we didn't have that, constantly reminding us, oh, okay, we wrote it down, we got to do it, then we wouldn't really be thinking about it. So you know, get your goals written down. And Kevin shared, if you shoot for the moon and you miss, you're still amongst the stars. But heck, go hit the moon. Forget about get some gold stars on the way, but go hit the moon, because you all can. You really can. Just write it down. Write down that you're going to hit the moon and go hit the moon. Okay, I'm done.
Great points. So many good nuggets in there. Any other comments? Any other struggles? Anything anybody else wants to talk about? This is our business call. Any questions? Remember, 8 other people have the same question. They're just not raising their hands. So you be the leader. Don't hold back. Anybody, anything, before we talk about some housekeeping. All right. If you think of something, chime in. Next week on the call, it's going to be a pretty cool call. We're going to focus on our start group. Now, I am not in the start group anymore. I wish I was in the start group. But we all want people of every age in our business, right? So even if we're 50 or 40 or 60 or 70 or 20, we want every age. This is for everybody. So we're going to focus a little bit on the start group. And we have 2 executives that are the top income earners in our company in the start group that are going to be on the call with you, that we're going to interview, we're going to talk to. And it's going to be exciting. These people these 2 individuals are very dynamic individuals. And I'm not going to tell you who they are. So make sure you're on here next week. Invite your team on here. You're going to be able to ask them questions also, depending on the time frame. But really, this is, a lot of people they wonder, how can an 18-year-old make this type of money? How can a 22-year-old be making over, 6 figures, multiple 6 figures residually every year? We struggle with that because we think of broke college students, and we get it. So we're going to bring these people on to show you how it's done, because I want these people on my team. I want the young crowd on the team also, and I need to learn from them as well. So that's what we're doing next week. May 19th, Super Saturday in Boston. If you're local, great, come on. If you're not, send people. We're going to be there. Do we know who's lecture? It's all corporate.
On icegenicsevents.com, you can take a look at the event. Yeah, there's a button. No, it's not all corporate. There's a few local.
Okay, May 23rd, Super Saturday in Portsmouth. Lisa and I will be presenting there. I know Jesse's presenting.
Oh, it's not the 23rd. Did I get it wrong?
No, June 23rd.
Oh, June 23rd. Sorry, June 23rd in Portsmouth. Abby O'Neill, Lisa, myself, Jesse. I don't remember. There's other. Joda. Oh yeah, Jody Liza.
Yeah.
Hey. Well, we'll be presenting May 28th to June 5th is Top Achievers. June 30th to July 1st is our retreat. So the retreat at our house, this is the 4th time we've done it. If you can get here by boat, by donkey, by bicycle, come on. It is a great weekend. And ask anybody on this call who's been to any of the retreats. It's great. It's fun. We bond and we learn. And I'll tell you, businesses flourish when we come out of these retreats. They really do. And so if you can get here, you have a place. We just need to know who you are and if you're going to come. So
there's an event on Team Limitless.
Yeah, please go to the event on Team Limitless and say if you're coming, and we'll reserve a place, because there are some animals outside at night. If you're one of the people that have to sleep out by the barbecue on the back deck, can't be responsible for a missing limb in the morning. So you want a place in the house. August 4th celebration. And then I got to write this date down. Manchester Super Saturday, Jen Ayotte, October
13th.
Woo! October 13th.
13th. Yes.
13th in Manchester.
New Hampshire.
New Hampshire. Yeah, not England.
New Hampshire.
New Hampshire.
Not England.
Not England.
And if you're not on the East Coast nearby, make sure you're constantly checking icegenicsevents.com and the Facebook Icegenics Events page, because new stuff is always popping up. Associate run events are also posted in there. And as anybody who has been to an event, either local or core event, you know how valuable events are, and many of the local ones are very easy to get to, and they're anywhere from $10 to $20 to get in the door, and they are far more valuable than that ticket price.
Absolutely. I'm going to leave you with this. If you're not sure what to do, if you're not sure about talking to people, number one, when you're in a conversation and you're exposing them to the business, make sure you share your story. We still hear people talking to someone, talking to a prospect, but they don't tell them why they're doing it. And as Eric Worre says, it's about building a bond of trust, building that trust, that bridge before you can present. So if I say to you, Kristen, I'm doing this to change my financial footprint. I'm doing this because I was working 3 jobs and barely getting by. I was doing this because I was married to my job and I couldn't leave. I was doing this because I never saw you have to tell them why you're doing that, because you become real to them, that this means something emotionally to you. There's also a document that I put in our file cabinet called Inviting Prospects. If you haven't read it, read it. We have a few minutes in front of someone. So the words that we choose, the things that we say will either repel people, and they'll say, whoa, this guy's trying to sell me, or I don't know if I want to talk to this guy, or they'll pull people in. Obviously, we want to pull people in. We're all genuine here. We all want this to happen, but sometimes we're not sure about our posture and the words that we use. And words can either turn them on or turn them off. So take a look at that document. Share your story with your prospects. And last but not least, if you know nothing else, the one thing that's made everybody on here the most amount of money, and I think I can speak for the majority of people in the company, whether they call it this or not, the cake recipe that we have, use the cake recipe. You're not giving away any information. All you're doing is asking questions. So, Renee, if I could show you a way to XYZ, because you told me your goals, if I could show you a way, are you open to learning more? You don't have to know anything. Great. When are you free? I'd love to get you on the phone with my mentor. She can tell you more about this program better than I can right now. I'm pretty new. When are you free? I'd love to introduce you. I told you nothing about what this is. But what I did do is I got your mind, your psyche in a place where you want to know more. You finally realize that I have a chance to get off that hamster wheel. Renee's going to give me the answer I've been looking for. I got to meet with this girl. I got to find out what this is. That's what the cake recipe does. So forget about learning the ingredients, yes, learn stuff, but don't wait to talk to people. And that's why the cake recipe is so important and can get the job done. You can roll people without knowing anything. Eliza, you have something on here? Where is she? There she is.
Yeah, I just wanted to remind everybody, because I think it goes so nicely with this amazing, great training tonight. This was really awesome. I hope people that are watching after the fact watch the whole thing, because this is like 100% needs to be like instilled every single day. Practice sessions Thursday. We are doing one this week. It's going to be every other Thursday. So even if you're not ready to practice, come on and just be a fly on the wall. You never know when you're going to be ready to practice. So 8:30 Thursday Eastern Standard Time. This week, Jody and I are going to do positioning the value pack. But we're going to rotate through the topics, and we'll try to give you guys a heads up. And then, like I did last time, I boosted some posts within the Limitless page so that you can have some content to practice on before you get on the call. Because this call, we're here to train, right? But we still need to go out and practice. And why not use each other? You can't prospect here, but that's perfect, because then you take that piece away. So I just wanted to just kind of throw that out there. I will make sure I do that tomorrow. I'll boost it's Eden Slobin, yes.
It's
from NYKO. It's an NYKO. We'll get it.
Yes.
We'll get it up there.
NYKO, but it's also in the getting started steps 1 through 8.
Yes, it's in the file section too. But
Yeah.
we'll make sure you guys get that. And then real quick, I'm sorry, I'm cleansing, so I'm like really all over the place today. Some days are great cleanse days, other days you're not. Bedtime Belly Buster. So we are going to, just for anybody who hasn't been watching on the Unleash You page, the Bedtime Belly Buster that we're going to kick off starting tomorrow. Yes, May 1st. Okay. We're going to do a 9 o'clock Eastern Standard Time, like 10-minute workout as an option to add on to your belly buster. So just let your product users know that if they want to do that, it's optional, it's not necessary, but to give somebody else just another added value to coming on and signing on to do it. So, okay, I'm done.
You guys are awesome. I love this. What's that? PM. You guys are awesome. This is, we're so honored and grateful to be a part of this team. People just step up and start doing stuff. It's like we don't wait. No one on here waits for things to be handed to them, and I love that. So thank you, Eliza. Thank you, Jody. Thank you, Jen. Everybody. I could thank everybody on here. It's just such a great place. Any last comments or questions before we sign off? This is your meeting.
Really quick, I just wanted to comment on something that's happening right now on my Facebook feed, which I find hilarious. If anyone has hesitated to post about the bedtime belly buster, maybe you're not sure what to say, you've done the post, or you're not getting a lot of feedback, which tends to happen to my posts. When I do direct isogenics posts, I get very little interaction. I think we can all relate to that. So tonight my post was true or false, should you eat before bed? I am getting so much interaction on this post right now. It's actually pretty hilarious. And I did a comment kind of halfway through and just said, I'm loving the responses. Keep them coming. I'm going to post the answer later tonight. So what I'm going to do tonight, or possibly tomorrow morning, is I'm actually going to post some of the facts about consuming whey protein before bed and do a follow-up post that says more about our bedtime belly buster, and then follow up with each of the people via messages. So if you're struggling and don't know how to present something, I didn't know how it was going to go. People are eating this up, and I'm friend with like an actual like nutrition coach for like bodybuilders and stuff. And his response was really interesting. But anyway, so yeah, that might be a suggestion for some people who aren't quite sure, but it's getting a lot of traction.
Sorry, but I just have to jump in. Jody, I saw your post when I was doing a couple things on my phone while I was watching, and it was awesome. But also, in addition, Miss Eliza is like a little model poster child on my page, because last night I used Lisa Dunsky's post. I don't know if Lisa was the first one to post it, but Lisa posted something about the 20-day fat blaster with pictures of Eliza's before and after from last year. I had so much curiosity from that post last night that I added like, I think 4 people to Unleash You, 4 or 5 in the last like 24 hours, and people keep commenting. So that's another one if you want to try it.
Awesome.
Yeah.
One recommendation, you could take it or leave it, but when you write down whey protein, I would put in undenatured, because it starts the conversation of why we're different. And if those of you don't know and you want some bullets on that, just reach out, or I'll basically regular protein is cooked and it destroys the amino acids. And that's what makes the assimilation from the protein into lean muscle. So denatured protein, 99% of what we get on the market in the States is pasteurized and it's cooked, and it kills those amino acids. ARDS doesn't. That's the lay way of explaining to someone. So
make sure all those people get put on your prospect list, on your names list. If they liked or commented, they become a prospect on your list.
If they like, oh, go ahead. Sorry.
And also at the end of this call, we will post it on Team Limitless. Make sure you tag your team and comment and let people know what you liked about the call, so that they will be interested in watching the recording as well.
Absolutely. If you put a post up of you taking your dog to the park and someone likes it, that person goes on your list, right? I never used to do that. It's like, oh my God, we can constantly add these people. Anybody who likes or comments should be added to your list, period. So love you guys. Great call, great content. Thank you all for contributing. Next week, be on there. We have start group, top income earner is going to be on. Couple weeks, maybe the week after that or a week after that, we're going to talk about the investment conversation. Who here wants investors in their company? Who wants business builders? Who wants to attract new business builders? I'm going to go over that dialogue of what we do. And then we have some more good stuff coming down the chute. Jennifer Gebbie's going to do, Jennifer Gebbie Bennett's going to be doing amazing training coming up in a couple weeks. We got a lot of good stuff coming your way. Love you guys. Keep doing what you're doing. Reach out, 3 ways, all that stuff. Have a good week, everybody. And comment when we post this. Comment in the comment section when we post the videos.